is we've been talking about scheduling, but you actually built it so that it can run without an interface, and it was like it's like the ghost mouse. Like you showed me a
Correct.
mouse, the AI moving a mouse around on, pick your EMR vendor name. I don't want to throw in, Epic Cerner, Wristlink, who know, Meditech, Allscripts, whatever, whichever one it is, but actually moving on their software without any fancy interfaces and taking the calls and auto voice recognition. It's actually doing all of this. And so, if you could just clue people in a little bit about what that actually does and how it's working, because I
Mhm.
think I think we get the idea of what's, how important scheduling is, but then the last piece is putting it together into operations.
Yeah, and that's what took us the most time, right? So it all came out of necessity, right? I mean, this is what happens when you put a semiconductor guy and an airline guy in a healthcare, and then we start figuring out how to automate things as quickly as possible, right? With whatever is available at our disposal. And healthcare is tough. I learned a lot of things being spending some time in this industry, and the pain that everyone goes
Right?
through every day. Interoperability being one of the biggest ones, right? At first, when I was reading about these things before I even thought that I'm going to
Uh
start
huh.
a company in healthcare, I always heard about, I'm like, interoperability. What's a big deal? I mean, I helped start a standard for Internet of Things, and I know the challenge that we faced in interoperability
Right.
for Internet of Things, right? But health, I mean, it's software. Connect them together. We're like, what's the big deal over here? And then I learned through a lot of my failures that it's not as simple as you think
Mm-hmm.
it is, and I understood exactly what people meant when they said this, right? And huge portion of that comes from that I believe it's as a result of manual human-driven
Mm-hmm.
processes, right? And the second big component of that is the um, tools that are given to this industry, that are available to this industry, that are not equipped for the things that it should be doing in
Right.
this day and age, in the century that we live in, right? So those are the two big fundamental problems that we faced. And we built a system that we're pulling data out was easy, but putting something in, well, forget about it, right? You can't do that, and that would require massive upgrades of the software and this, because they didn't design it in that way, right? It was designed to use it in one way and one way only. And every time you want to make a change, it's very expensive, which no one wants to cough up without knowing
Right.
what's the ROI. And we kind of understood that if we were to show a massive improvement in performance in running the operations, I'm just not going to be able to do it with human beings. It's just not going to be possible.